So if you're watching this video, it's because you're interested in starting an Airbnb in Miami and you're not really sure how to go about it. Well, the information we're going to be talking about here today, you can literally apply this to any Airbnb business that you're looking to open in other parts of the country or even other parts of the globe. Now, there's a couple things you need to take into consideration, and hopefully by the end of the video, you get a clear picture of what it takes to invest and what is the investment thesis or the investment framework you should be thinking about when you're gonna start this business. So let's dive right in. So personally, my investment thesis is this: if you're gonna buy any piece of real estate, you need to know what that local economy is doing. Where are they? What's going on? Because Airbnb sounds nice and pretty, but if you don't know what is going on under the hood, you could be really exposed. And it's important that the economy that you invest into is diverse. It doesn't have just one pillar of business that's bringing in all that revenue. So in Miami, fortunately enough, we have a lot of different pillars that we can lean on, aside from tourism, which tourism is a big part of it, but there's a lot more intricacies and it's more layered. So I like to look up the labor statistics information, and right now, as you can see right here, we're accurate as of today, March 20, 2023. That information is up to date, very important, because you don't want to be working off of old information. Now, what are we looking at for current unemployment? Well, as of 2023 compared to 2022, we're actually low. So that's great. That means that we have a lot of people that are employed, the economy's moving, it's chugging along. Let's look at Broward, Miami-Dade County Co., the Palm Beach compared to the United States. So Florida as a whole, especially in these areas, pretty strong. It has a strong economy. A lot of people are employed. Now we want to dive into the pillars that I spoke about. So we're going to look at construction, manufacturing, tourism, information technology, financial activities. You want to take a look and see what are the main things that are driving the business. So you can see trade, transportation, utilities. It's a big chunk. It's worth, most people are being hired into and working. So very good that you have an idea. Now, if you see one area or one line item is a lot bigger than the others, dive into that and really understand why it's like that. So it's not something to be too concerned, but you want to make sure that the economy is diverse, because if something happens, you're going to definitely feel it, which I'm going to talk about how you're going to feel it in a few minutes. Now, I advise that you do some further research and get on a plane and actually go to that location and stay there for a week or two and immerse yourself into what is happening in that economy. Immerse yourself into things. What are the things to do there? What are the restaurants to eat? How are the people? What's the culture like? You want to know that, because as you start building your Airbnb business, people are going to start asking you for advice, recommendation, things to do. You want to have an itinerary, a plan, something laid out that they know. So important, take a look at the economic data. Now, I just pulled this article and it shows that Miami's tourism industry more than bounced back in 2022. Travel and tourism contributed $11.1 billion to Miami-Dade's economy, making it the fourth largest tourism market in the United States. That, to me, as an investor looking to buy a property in Miami, I feel really comfortable seeing this information. Now, another thing I like to look at is the airport traffic information. Since you're going to get into the short-term rental game, and it's primarily based on tourism, how many people are actually going to that community. Now, what I like to do is pull up the passenger data and see how much foot traffic is going through these airports, because at the end of the day, if people aren't flying there, they're not moving around, you're not gonna get tourism, you're not gonna see that influx of business that you hoped you were gonna get when you first got in there. So this information is vital that you look at as well. Now, as we can see here, 50.6 million passengers have gone through Miami International Airport. That's another thing that I could put in the back of my head that tells me, okay, my thesis of buying in Miami is even more strong because the economy is strong, the tourism is great, and the foot traffic that the airport's getting is fantastic. Okay, now I feel pretty good. Now we're gonna dive into the comps and looking at what you can potentially get for your rental. Now, let's say for this example, you're gonna be looking at South Beach and you wanna compare what's going on in the market. So let's say you already have your thesis and your investment criteria of what you're looking for. Let's say it's a 1-1 or a 2-2. What is the style that you're looking for? What makes these things so unique? So I recommend that you click on each one of these, do a deep dive, look at the reviews, look at the comments, put little notes down, and see what makes each one of these special and why are the ones that have the 4.8 doing a lot better than the ones that have lower reviews. compare, contrast, understand. You want to know how your competition is performing, so then when you start this business, you can be on equal footing and compete. Now, we're looking here at the nightly rental rates. We see here $146, $87, $106. So these are the rates that we're looking at right now. Write them down. Put it in a little notepad, keep it on an Excel, and understand, okay, these are what we're looking at. This is what the rental rates are going for here. Now you want to take a look at each one, like I said, and dive in and dissect it. Play around with the website and understand the comps and what's happening. Now, another thing I want to talk about, and it's very important, what if your Airbnb goes a different direction? Let's say something happens in the economy, a pandemic happens again, or some unforeseen event that you can't think of happens and it affects your business. That's why it's important doing all the back end work, understanding the economy, flying out there and putting your foot in that ground, feeling what's going on in the market, because it's going to give you a better feeling that if things go sideways, you have an investment that doesn't really depend on short-term rental. You can actually rent it out for long-term. So what is the demand? And that's why doing all that research in the back end really reinforces you and makes you a more well-rounded investor going into this market. Now, I'm always going to recommend that when you're going into a new market, for example, Miami, you work with a realtor that knows the market, knows what's going on, and that can guide you and take you through each of the different hurdles that you're going to be as you're getting into the market. Which, by the way, I'm going to throw myself as a plug. I'm a real estate agent in the area, and I'll be more than happy to help you and assist you and my team as well. So if you need any help, I have my information in the description down below. Just send me an email. I'd be more than happy to chat with you and guide you through the process. Now, as we're looking here, you want to compare and see, okay, so what are the rental rates going for? So we're going to take a look. We're seeing that a 3.2 goes for 4.9. All right, we see one here is going for 9,000, 4,500. Now, granted, this might not be the ones ideally that you're looking to buy, but you want to compare what unit you're looking to purchase, and you want to always compare what are the rental rates going for. I recommend that you look what has rented in the past 30 days. If you don't have information readily available, go back 180 days and compare it to the building that you're buying. So out of the people that live in that building, how many of them are actually renting? And you want to have an idea and keep that as a snapshot. So then when you go and do your mortgage and run those numbers, you can say, okay, long-term wise, I can cover the mortgage if anything were to happen. I can raise the rent. I can do the things that I need to do to bring more income in. I recommend, and everybody has their own investment thesis, but if you're going to go into Airbnbs or even becoming a landlord, you always want to have 2-bedroom, 2-bath, especially now in the economy that we're in, where everybody's a digital nomad. You have people traveling from different places in the country and they want to have that extra office space. It's important that you take that into consideration. And a lot of people like to travel in groups. So you might have two couples that want to go to South Beach and they want to have their privacy. They don't want to be in a studio or where everybody can see each other. They want to have that space. So not only is that convenient, but that's also a premium, and you can charge even more for your Airbnb rental. So keep that in mind. I just pulled this up as an example. This is a studio on South Beach. If you want to take a look here. Now, what I'm going to do with this example, I'm going to pull the information, and then we're going to go to Zillow Mortgage. And on Zillow Mortgage, you're going to use this to basically give you an idea more or less of what's going to cost. Don't be married to these numbers. I recommend that when you're going with your mortgage lender, you sit down, go over with them, and let them know what you're trying to do, and then run those numbers as you go so you get a real strong idea of what you're looking at. But this is great to give you just a ballpark. Now, I just put the numbers in here, $225,000. Let's say you put a 20% down payment, 30-year fixed, current interest rates, property taxes, and the HOA dues and all that good stuff. And let's say the homeowner's insurance is $2,000, and we bump everything up a little bit. Now that's what you're looking at as your monthly payments. Now if we go back to the short-term rental rates and we look at the market rental rates, this is going to tell you whether you're on the money or you're off, or you got to get out of that place and don't look at it. Remember, you make money when you buy the property. You don't make money when you sell it. Always remember that. In real estate, it's the opposite. You make money the moment you buy the property. So very important, you gotta make sure that you're running these numbers. Now, if you found this video informative and you enjoyed the content, drop a comment down below, like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate it. And if you have any other videos that you want me to dive into, let me know. I'll be more than happy to dissect the real estate market. Miami has so many beautiful things to offer. And if you're ready to move and relocate from where you're currently at, my team is ready to help you buy, sell, or invest here in South Florida. We'd be more than happy to communicate with you. Our information is in the description. Thank you. Have a good one, and on to the next one.